Welcome to Golden Isles TV. This is the City Show with Regina McDuffie, and we're so glad to have you. How are you today?
I am well, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. So this show will air during the month of March. So what do you have on tap for the City of Brunswick in the month of March?
Okay, so March is coming together quite nicely. We have, a lot going on. We have Kite Day coming up on the 15th, and then the March Madness with the Golden Owls beautification, Keep Golden Owls Beautiful. It's going on all month. So please look out for the March Madness. They have a wonderful event that's going on all month long to celebrate the month of March and spring cleaning. So that's coming up. And then there's a number of events during the month downtown with the Development Authority, with the downtown businesses. There's a lot of events going on with the Silver Bluff. They're having a 5K and a, celebration for St. Patrick's Day. So there's a lot going on with that. And then there's some other things that are happening at other places downtown. The Ritz has the Georgia Tribute with the Elvis group. And then we have some other jazz collective on the 17th of March. So there's a lot going on. And then we have the Peaches to Beaches, which is, I think, this week coming up. It's on the 8th. So have a lot of things. 8th and 9th, I think, is the 8th is the Peaches to Beaches. So just a lot of different things going on for the month of March. But I'm very excited as well for the month of April. And hopefully we will be able to, talk about Georgia Cities Week, which comes up in April, and some other activities that we have planned.
Great. Yes. Well, let's go back to March, and then we'll kind of move forward with April. So Peaches and Beaches, Peaches to Beaches. Tell us about that for those that aren't aware. Talk about that a little bit.
Okay, so the Peaches to Beaches is considered Georgia's longest yard sale. It has vendors, it has foods. It starts up in Fort Valley, Georgia, I think, and it is a yard sale that goes all the way to the coast, which is here. So that's why it's Peaches to Beaches. Fort Valley is peaches. We are the beaches. So the event itself is all day on Friday, the 8th, and Saturday until 6 p.m. And it will have a load of crafts. You can register to have a booth. I think they only have food vendor spaces available right now, and they may not have any of those since that was posted a little while back. But it's kind of like the biggest yard sale you'll ever see, and it goes along the from Fort Valley to the coast. So it's a long yard sale down Highway 341.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah.
And ours is at Mary Ross Park. So kind of culminates at the end at Mary Ross Park.
Exciting. Yeah. Well, who doesn't love a good yard sale, right?
Yeah, and it's a good outdoor fun activity. So yeah.
Right. Yes. We used to film a show a few years ago. It was just about yard sailing. It was like followed somebody around and showed kind of just the funny bidding on different things and trying to negotiate deals, and it was really fun. So nice. Okay, so lots going on in March. What's interesting with the City of Brunswick is you're mentioning the St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
Normally people think about Savannah, right? But actually there's a lot going on here in the city. So that's exciting.
Yeah, we, some of the downtown businesses and restaurants really want to celebrate the St. Patrick's Day. So they're having some things downtown with the just a beer fest. Silver Bluff is hosting that. They have a 5K, and they will have live music, beer, and food all day long on the 16th of March. And you get to wear all your green.
Oh yes, oh yes. That's exciting. Yeah, yeah. Good to know things are going on here that weekend. You don't have to go to Savannah. There's plenty to do downtown.
Right. And I just wanted to highlight, we have, new restaurants opening downtown.
Mhm.
Hoot Nanny's on the Yard, it's open. Shroglo has opened. Just really glad to see some new restaurants. There's a restaurant over on 4th Street, a seafood place that I can't think of the name of right now, but if you drive down 4th Street, they have some great banners up to say, hey, we're open. So please, we want everybody to get out. We have the food truck corner that's developing right there at L Street and Norwich. And that's a very exciting endeavor for Norwich Street. And, there's a lot going on over at Norwich. So we are, expanding our business corridor to Norwich and to Albany Street soon. So just, we want people to go out, support our local businesses, and just, enjoy the things that we're bringing to help the economy here locally in Brunswick.
Right. Yes, absolutely. I know this was your vision from the beginning. We started the show, and I know you had really an intention of making this the best place to live for locals, but also for tourists and the green space. And, it's just exciting to see the progress and what, where it was and where you are now. And I think you're definitely doing that like one step at a time between the work on the roads, the green space, the new rec center, as well as these restaurants that create just this outdoor vibe and this friendly, welcoming attitude. So
Yeah, the only thing is, things take time. I wish we could just, when we think about them, when we can invest in them, that they can just happen immediately. But unfortunately, they don't. But hopefully, things will take time. I'm looking forward. We have 2 new commissioners that are coming on that have come on board, and they are very excited about helping Brunswick move forward. So I would like to, engage them in this process and allow them opportunities to give you their thoughts and visions going forward.
yes, absolutely. In fact, great idea. We're going to have those 2 new commissioners on the show. So stay tuned for that, and we will interview them as they come on to the board and get their thoughts about what they plan to do and how they plan to work with you and everyone in the city of Brunswick. Is there anything else you want to touch on before we move on to the commissioners?
Well, just wanting to say, March is going to be a busy month for us, but April is also going to be a busy month. We have the Georgia Cities Weeks, and I'm very excited. We have some new events planned and some new engagement for the children and residents. So look forward to that. And that will be the week of April 15th. So right after you get your taxes done, you can come out and celebrate and have a wonderful week. Georgia Cities Week coming up.
Yes. Do you know if you're still planning to have the Staff Appreciation Day at Mary Ross Park?
We are doing the staff appreciation on April 16th, and I'll give you a quick rundown.
Okay.
On that Monday, we have a new event called Touch a Truck, which has all our vehicles on display where people can come out and just see what, vehicles the cities use for our progress and for our operations. On Tuesday, April 16th, we'll have a day of giving, and that giving will include a blood drive as well as United Way will be present for that particular event. On Wednesday, we have a coffee and pastries event with city officials. So people can come and engage with the city officials and have a little coffee and breakfast and a really nice little social outing. On Thursday, we have the Day of Safety, which we will have the gun locks kind of demonstration, car seat installation demonstration, and a self-defense demonstration, which I think is really good to just give people good information about safety. And then on Friday, we will culminate the week with our historical tour and with our employee appreciation. So long week of activities. It's basically just to say, hey, we are the City of Brunswick. We want you to know, how to engage with us, how we are doing, what we do to serve you throughout the year. So a really nice week of events coming up.
Yes, sounds wonderful. Yeah, thank you for giving me the kind of the schedule of events, and we might do an interview, or we may see if we can film something.
That would be great.
Next month for Georgia City's Week, or one of the events coming up. So I'll keep you posted on that. But we appreciate your time today, and thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward, as always, to the next show. Hi, welcome back to Golden Isles TV. I'm your host, Avery Brooks, and I'm here with Lance Sabbe, and we are so glad to have you. He is the newest commissioner for the City of Brunswick. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll move into why you chose to be on the City Commission, or wanted the position.
Yeah, so I was born and raised, grew up in southern Arizona, and relocated to Brunswick a little over 16 years ago. My mom actually retired from FLETC, and so I came out after her retirement. So that's how I ended up on the wonderful coast, and then met my wife here, and just fell in love with the community. So yeah, I've been here ever since. And after just being in the community a couple of years, really got involved with community activities and organizations, and kind of that led me into the path of this kind of political career, I guess you would say.
Right. So yeah, we were talking to another new commissioner. Gwen is your y'all came onto the commission together, and she was saying, maybe kind of a little bit what you're saying, that you've sort of done maybe in small ways help the community and through your job and different things, but she was ready to sort of branch out and make a bigger impact. And maybe that's what you were thinking as well, just like a bigger reach.
Yeah, and I've had the opportunity to serve on a bunch of local boards and commissions. Former chairman of our Citizens Oversight Committee for SPLOST, served, for a number of years as the chairman of our Planning and Appeals Commission for the city. Helped both the county and the city on the latest version of the comprehensive plans that they both completed. So been fairly involved and fairly knowledgeable kind of about some things that are happening, but also see a huge opportunity for us in our community, and how I feel like some of the skills that I can bring to the table and energy can continue to help move us in the right direction.
Right. What's your biggest goal for the City of Brunswick as we move forward?
Yeah, really, really good question. I would say there's two really big focus areas that I have, and predominantly the first one is the Homestead Act. So the Homestead Act is a piece of legislation at the state level that allows municipalities to grant citizens that are homeowners and their primary residents a tax break if it's their, again, primary residence. And we actually have that adopted in the county, but the city has never taken the steps to adopt it in the city. And so that's something that myself and the mayor and the rest of the commission are working really hard in the current legislative session to get that pushed through. And then potentially that'll end up being a referendum that we'll see on the November ballot. So super excited about that. And a couple of the key reasons that we're really focused on that is, we're seeing huge growth in the city and in Glenn County in general. And we have a great population in the city that a lot of these families have been in their homes for generations. And we obviously have a need for some revitalization and some investment in these communities, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we try to limit gentrification and displacement as much as possible. So we're trying to get this tax break in place a little bit before we see more resurgence in the neighborhood, so that way we can, again, kind of keep the fabric of the community intact is really the goal.
Right. So really looking forward to the growth and understanding that there needs to be some things in place to really help people moving forward in that area. So that I'm sure that's great news to the City of Brunswick. As you said, it's surprising sometimes to learn, that was already happening in the county and not happening in the city. So that's interesting, and so glad that you're such an advocate for the people of the City of Brunswick.
Thank you. And after we get the Homestead Act, passed and what have you, the other big major focus for me and again, I feel like we're all on the commission and all kind of on the same page, is that really taking a close look at some of the large land parcels that we have in the city limits. And, a lot of those have been vacant for a number of years, and some are in the process of being turned over and transformed. And I think the city taking the lead on that redevelopment efforts in some of those large parcels, and really taking a look at how do we best benefit the community, what are the community needs, whether that's some sort of mix of housing and commercial job creations, green space and parks and recreation opportunities for our community. All those things I think factor in. And so we're, I would say, in the phase of doing a lot of due diligence. I've had a chance to visit quite a few number of other communities, whether that's outside of Augusta. We were in Suwannee a couple of weeks ago, up in Carrollton. A lot of these communities have faced some of these challenges of redeveloping, especially sites that are considered either brownfield or Superfund sites, and also derelict properties that are just kind of stuck in like heirs property with back taxes and that kind of stuff. So I think we've got a couple things in place to help turn some of those properties over. And then from a long-term perspective, really putting some serious thought and strategic strategy behind how do we encourage growth? How do we help developers? What kind of things do developers want to see from a city and municipality perspective to make their lives easy, but that will benefit from a tax-based perspective and from an infrastructure and perspective for our citizens. So it's kind of twofold there.
Yes, absolutely. I like everything you're saying about these parcels that are, available. I mean, let's be specific. Pinova is one, Liberty Harbor is two. I'm sure there are others as well. But I think, it would be so great if somebody like you could take the lead. I think there needs to be a leader sort of saying, you know what, I'm going to change these parcels into what we need for our community, whether it be, as you said, recreation, housing, possibly some commercial. I know in Augusta, they have, Macon, the Riverwalk, and then of course Augusta, they sort of had a similar situation. And one person, I think, really took the lead on that, and that's how that was accomplished. I'm sure it took a village, to get it all done. But I love what you were saying as far as maybe you could be the leader, the instigator at least of getting these projects done.
Yeah, and I want to be clear too. It's not just going to be me. It's obviously our whole commission, and I think we'll put together a great development board, of all kinds of representation, from the neighborhood planning assemblies to our development authorities to the county representation, but I think the key to your point, Avery, is that the city is the lead entity and kind of spearheads the effort. So we're not all fragmented and we're not all wishing and dreaming for different things.
Right.
It's like, let's all get a think tank together. Let's all figure it out, and then figure out what kind of mechanisms we can put in place to make sure what we talked about and what our vision is actually comes to reality, and comes into reality in a relatively timely fashion. We're not talking about this in 25 years and man, what could happen on Pinova?
Right.
So,
exactly.
right.
Exactly. Yeah. So the properties are there. The need is there. As I know, we have some farm property in LaGrange, Georgia, and
LaGrange is booming. Yeah.
LaGrange is booming, but it's like, it has to be, our property happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's one of those. And so I feel like we need a leader there too. But I think the point is that there's a huge need. It's frustrating sometimes because you hear about the need, and there have been studies, like actual statistical facts and figures to support this need, and the data is there, but yet there's nobody to sort of, make it happen. And it's just, I don't know. So I'm pulling.
Thank you.
But yes. Okay. What else would you like to talk about before we wrap it up?
I would just encourage, the citizens of Brunswick and Glenn County to continue to stay involved with local government. I'm a fairly new commissioner, but again, I've been involved in city government for a while. And one of the things that continues to be a challenge from a personal perspective is the lack of participation of our citizens, both from a voting standpoint. There's boards all throughout the county and the city that have vacancies that we would love volunteers to step up and help participate and share their voice and their opinions and their ideas. And then just participate and just tune into meetings, come to meetings, leave comments. We can only make decisions based on the vacuum that we're in. And so unless we have feedback from the community, it's hard. I don't want it to be Lance's decision. It needs to be a community decision. And so without that feedback and input, it's a challenge. So I would just encourage all of us to continue to do that. Our voices are definitely more magnified at a local level than it will be in the November presidential election. So, decisions that we make on a weekly basis at the city level, at the county level, affects you tomorrow in most cases. So it's important.
Yes, thank you for saying that. Absolutely. People get excited about the general election, the big presidential campaign. However, as you said, you really can make a difference just by getting involved in a board, being tuned into your local political politics, and helping any way. I mean, I know there are neighborhood associations. They were doing little groups in neighborhoods within the city. That was helpful. Just anything to communicate and work together to make Brunswick the best it can be. Exactly. Yes. Well, thank you so much. We're so thrilled to have you as the new commissioner, and we're thank you for all of your service, all the boards and your work in the city of Brunswick. We appreciate it, and we're so glad to have you today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Look forward to being on again sometime in the future.
Absolutely. Yes. We look forward to it. Welcome back to Golden Isles TV. I'm your host, Avery Brooks, and we're here with Commissioner Gwen Atkinson-Williams. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. So you are new to the City Commission, and is that right?
Yes. Very, very new. Very new to politics as well. Well, I wouldn't say very new, because everyday life anyway, you deal with politics regardless. But I'm an educator.
Okay,
so
yes. Tell us about yourself and your background.
Okay. I am in year 31, educator here in Glenn County School System. I'm a certified science teacher. I did my first 13 years at Brunswick High School, 4 years at the middle school, and currently I'm at Glenn Academy High School. I'm in a non-traditional setting, our Success Academy, which helps our students stay on track for graduation, which that's why you see in Glenn County, we have an outstanding graduation rate. A certified medical lab. I did 22 years at Southeast Georgia Health System, part-time working in the laboratory as a lab tech. So that's why when I taught high school, I'm basically a certified science teacher. That is my strong point, as in science.
Okay. Yes, but you've transitioned to sort of making sure everyone's graduating, sort of that counselor and you really have had a huge impact on making sure these young students do graduate. So that's awesome.
Yes.
So, okay. What made you decide to become a commissioner?
Well, when you in life, and as an educator, I can retire at 30, or basically I was coming to a crossroad of saying, And I'm just be very blunt and honest. I say, well, Lord, here it is. I'm coming to the end of year 30. Next year be 30. What's my next step in life? What's my how can I be more impactful? What do I need to do? And in the course of praying and wondering what should I do, continue to work or try another occupation or place of employment. And then all of a sudden, I started, for some reason, I came to my classroom. I said, okay, we're going to make the best of this year. And all of a sudden, someone texted me out the blue and said, wait patiently on the Lord. He answers all prayers. And I said, okay. And then the next day, text from a person, because this person I don't really text. We work in an organization. I know this person very well, but not like that. And the Lord knock on doors that you do not knock on opportunities. And I'm like, okay, all right. So I was talking to a particular individual that was leaving our school system to go to another job. And they were saying how the Lord they have an opportunity. They was going and the Lord gave a confirmation. So I said, well, Lord, you're not hearing my prayer. I'm not praying the right prayer, or what's going on. So as to the opportunity was here, and I felt like this is something, as I transition in life, because I could be more impactful, impact my community. And I just, I thought it was a very good opportunity for me to expand on, to like I said, I impact all our students, the young people, for 30 plus years in this community. And now I can say I could do more on a higher level to improve the quality of life within our city.
Right. So taking all of your positive energy and just spreading it out a little bit more, right? Expanding it to the community, not just the school. So that's awesome. Anyway, we thank you for your time today. And you being on the City Commission is significant because it is Women's History Month. Is that correct? In the month of March?
Yes.
So, yes. So I know you were saying a minute ago, that's really, that you're actually making an impact and having your place in history with this commission and the, the newness of this position. So talk about that a little bit more as we wrap it up.
Oh, okay. Well, as you know, I didn't realize it till the city clerk told me. She said, you are actually the fifth woman to serve, fourth Black woman to serve on the city commission. And as this is Women's History Month, I am making history, and I am being very impactful, or going to be impactful to my community as we move forward, because all the women in history have always have a outstanding way that they impacted their communities, other lives, to improve their quality, improve others' quality of life. So I am here, and this is a new beginning for me.
Did you say you were the fifth? Yes. Did you say you were
the woman? The fifth woman and the fourth Black woman. Yes, ma'am. Okay. The first woman was Doris Atkinson-Davis, which is my first cousin. The second woman was Julie Martin, and then the next one was Felicia Harris and Kendra Rowe, and then me. Yes.
Nice. Okay. Excellent. Mm-hmm. Well, we look forward to keeping up with you and seeing what you do and how you impact the community. And we just wish you the best in this new position as commissioner. And we thank you for your time today.
Well, thank you. This has been a joyful moment too, spending my morning with Avery and Golden House TV. But no, I really thank you all for giving me this opportunity. And I want to make sure that stay prayerful that we as a commission, my colleagues and I, that we continue to make our citizens very proud of us as we improve their place to work, play, and live, be happy.
Yes. Well, we thank you for your service to the community, and we loved having you on the show. We'll have to do this again soon.